Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by Brian for Liberty today. I appreciate your time, and please take a second and subscribe to the channel. And if you like the content, go ahead and share it. Hit that notification button so you know when new videos are coming out. It's been about a week since I was able to put out a video. I've been on the road a bit. I was hoping to get a couple of videos up while I was gone, but was not able to find the time. It was a pretty busy road trip. But now I'm back, and hopefully we'll be getting videos up much more regularly. Today, I have essentially one topic I want to attack, and that is the Ahmaud Arbery story. It's kind of finally starting to get the attention in the media that it deserves. After a couple of months of relative media silence on this one, we're finally starting to get some real attention on this case and the video evidence that's coming out. Surprisingly and disappointingly, I guess to some it's not a surprise, but very disappointing. The defense of these two killers is already out there. It's already coming out from people saying that this young man was trespassing and that he went for the gun. These are the two defenses that I'm hearing. Oh, he was trespassing or he went for the gun. Let me destroy this ridiculous defense of two people who killed an unarmed man in cold blood. First, if he was trespassing, then they should have called the police at the time that they saw him on the property. That's the proper thing to do. Now, I know in Georgia, if you see somebody committing a crime, that they have a citizen arrest policy down there, but that's based on catching somebody in the act of committing a felony. Trespassing isn't a felony. And when they engaged this young man, he was not in the act of committing a crime. He was running on a public road. So he was trespassing defense is a ridiculous defense. Second is that they were reported robberies in the area, and so that led them to believe that this was the perpetrator of those prior crimes. Again, he's not caught in the act. There's no proof of it. There's not an active investigation into him as the perpetrator of these crimes. So I don't understand. That's not a defense for what happened. Second, and I think, or next, and I think the argument that makes me the most angry is that he went for the gun. These two people are not law enforcement. They did not identify themselves as law enforcement because they're not. They were not in uniform. This was a man unarmed running down the street who had two people jump out of a truck and wave guns at him. The moment he went for the gun, he was acting in self-defense. You understand that every action you see, I know for a fact, I'm going to see video and I'm going to see justification for this murder because he was taking a swing at the guy holding the shotgun. Ahmaud Arbery was acting in self-defense in that moment. Somebody engaged him on the street and put a gun in his face. So there is no justification or no defense that these two people were the aggressors in this situation. They were not in imminent danger. They were in no danger. They chose to follow him. They chose to engage him. They initiated contact, and then they killed him when he attempted to defend himself. That's what's happened. Nothing else. And everything else is just a distraction. And I'm telling you, if you are a member of the Republican Party, if you are a Trump supporter, if you are the MAGA hat wearing person out there on the street who gets angry because you say the left accuses everyone of racism all the time, and you're defending this action, you're the reason that they're calling you racist all the time. You're the reason that happens, okay? You're justifying their call that everyone on your side of the political spectrum is a racist. You're justifying it by defending these actions. There should be no question as to as to what happened here. It's on video. Next, I want to make sure that everybody understands that the calls for investigation are 100% justified, but the investigation isn't whether or not his murder was justified. The only cause for any level of investigation is whether this is murder or manslaughter. That's it. Okay? And the only variance here, or the only difference, I guess, would be the intent, because of the struggle with the firearm going off. Could this be manslaughter? But this person was killed in cold blood. These people are guilty of taking a person's life, and the only investigation is to determine whether or not this was murder or manslaughter. And anything else is garbage. Anything else is like I said, you're justifying it. If you're defending this, then you don't have any right to cry out that the left always screams racism. So I just wanted to get that out. I've already put out on social media my thoughts on this on other platforms, and I'm stunned at the number of people who are stepping up and defending this action. It blows my mind. I did not expect it. There is, of course, another part to the story, as there always is, and this is outside of the whether or not these men were justified in their action, which I think I've made my position on pretty clearly. There's another article coming out that has come out and said that Georgia needs to change these laws, change their gun laws, so that this doesn't happen again. That is not, I don't believe that. I think that Georgia needs to very quickly and very swiftly bring justice to these two men so that we don't end up in this situation again, so that we're sending a very clear message that the ability to defend yourself, the right to defend yourself, the right to stand your ground, and the right to interrupt or engage when you see somebody in the act of committing a felony is not a justification for you and your idiot cohort to get in your pickup truck and go chase people down as if you are Batman. You are not a superhero. You are not a hero at all. You are a coward. Congratulations on confronting an unarmed person running down the street. Okay, so we need to bring justice to these people swiftly and send a very, very clear message that these laws, standing your ground, the ability for citizens to engage when they see somebody in the commission of a felony is not a license to commit vigilante justice. That's not what this is for. Put your guns away. You're not heroes. You're not out there defending the free world. Just stop. Okay, it's ridiculous. You make a caricature. You make fools out of everybody who believes in the Second Amendment. I believe in open carry. I believe in stand your ground. And everybody who behaves in the way that these men behaved, and everybody who defends their actions, makes people who support the Second Amendment, makes people who support open carry look foolish. This action was completely unjustified. Anybody defending it is part of the problem. You're part of the reason that the nation is so divided. You're part of the reason that people aren't willing to listen to the Second Amendment argument. You're part of the reason that people won't listen to the open carry argument. You're part of the problem. You're creating the issue. So stop defending this person on social media. Stop defending these men on social media. Stop taking we need the investigation to see what happened position. And for God's sakes, don't go into the character assassination mode and start talking about this person's history, because it's irrelevant. His history had nothing to do with the reason he was killed. I don't care about any of that. An unarmed man was gunned down by two people on a road as he was running down the street. That's it, the end. And nothing else matters to me. So I wanted to get that out. I'm kind of passionate about it, obviously. Again, as somebody who defends the Second Amendment, as somebody who believes in open carry, people defending this make it very, very difficult to support those positions and very difficult to defend those positions. You're hurting your own cause. So I want to thank you all for stopping by. Brian for Liberty today. I will be getting a podcast out. I have not put out a podcast in a little while. I'm going to get a podcast out, and you can search that Brian for Liberty on Spotify. I encourage you to check out my last podcast on Brian for Liberty. Again, that's on Spotify. Just talking about finances and managing finances for a crisis, addressing some of the issues that you're seeing people face in regards to, even in a short-term period of unemployment, why people are having so much trouble and why they're struggling financially so badly. So check that podcast out. The next podcast is going to also be addressing financial issues, but more on a national scale as opposed to an individual scale. So it'll be an interesting one. I hope you'll take a minute to listen. Again, thank you for stopping by. Please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you can catch the next video. And as always, thank you for stopping by.